sauce for the table,
Oh,
please.
shit. I thought we were already live. My bad.
Oh, well, we are now.
Good. Good.
Are we really?
We're as live as we can be.
Yeehaw.
Not sponsored by Cerveza Cristal, unless...
I will take it. I have said it before. I'll say it again. Like
I'm trying, dude. Dude, I'm trying.
In all honesty, I also did not think that out of anything, Roll20 would be one of the things stepping up to save D&D.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I feel the worst for Thero, because I could feel his hatred, but also his love fighting in, like, inside him like two wolves. Or like two lizard monsters, because he's scaly.
Wolf lizards.
Would that just be Komodo dragons?
That would be more like drakes. I hate that taxonomy. Like, it's a
Inside
landworm.
you are two T-Rexes.
They are fucking.
I was about to say, knowing
Damn it, Citric!
knowing Thero, they also have giant boobs.
You know what they're not doing? They're not holding hands, Citric.
Oh, and of course, now everything is hand holding.
Scandalous hand holding
You make
in
one comment.
my Gothic Horror D&D podcast.
Dear Lord, we're just gonna get attacked by crawling claws now.
You know those monsters that are literally just walking hands?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. They're here. They're here for your fingers.
Oh Lord, just
Oh,
imagine
God.
like 5 of them, like no, 4 of them, just each one has one finger in their grasp. But yeah, we also got back a Sheila.
Yeah.
She has arrived.
The Sheila returneth.
But yeah. So who wants to go around the horn first?
Not me, I just had a habanero. Someone else.
Fine, I'll do it. Hi there, I'm Citric. You can find me pretty much everywhere at Citric King. Things have been a bit stagnant on the social media side of things, but I'll try to get back to it as soon as possible and hopefully opening back commissions. Other than that, you can find me here in the same very channel next Tuesday playing as Midas for our Old Marlocks Pack Tactics game.
Actually, that's this.
So-
It's this Tuesday, Citric.
That's what next. I mean, the coming one next week. That's what I was trying to say.
You're fine.
Come on. No, I'm not. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much me. So I'm jumping series in line.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your boy with an eye. You can find me all over the internet at TixDixel, where I'm doing a lot of nothing right now. Not because I don't want to be, but because I am taking a staycation, and I'm focusing on other things. But when I'm not traveling for work and or convention, you can find me next month on this channel for No Love War Extra, where I am horrified and intrigued to find out what all I have missed while I have been gone. I've been able to peep into the chat on like 2 occasions and have been given a great deal of things out of context. And I am scared. I have one fear. I have exactly one. But other than that, you can find me here every second and fourth Sunday DMing this lovely campaign. And with that, I'm going to pass this off to Sheila. Where can they find you?
Hi, this is Sheila. You can find me on Instagram, which is the only social media I figured out how to use, barely, at Mugimira, MUGIMIRA.cause. And here, 2 Sundays a month. And I will pass it on to. Wait, who's left? Zan?
Hey, it's me. I'm alive. Hi, everybody. Xanalis Grim, also known as Zan, from Those Who Wander, episodes 1 through now 12. You can catch me not this week, but next week we're going to be restarting or re-getting back into Stalwart Souls, which I'm very excited for. That'll be over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanalisGrim. 7 p.m. PST. Some few friends of the channel you might know. D&D campaign, so that'll be there. Gonna get back to it on that. Tuesday, we should be back into more Halo 5 Lasso. We've been getting progress. Hopefully we can get through that game as soon as possible, because that's a rough one. Thursday, twitch.tv/Monty Glue, 7 p.m. PST. More Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We've had some really good sessions. We just had a player return, and we're really excited to get back into that. So that'll be there. And I think that's it for now. Actually, not this week, but the following week. No, can't announce that yet. Never mind.
Oh my!
Passing it on to to the talking skull himself for now.
Yes. Hello. Hi. You've already found me here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Blue Sky at Burnout Vaughn, and over on Patreon at Burnout's Bar. Not much going on this week, except for, of course, like we said, we have Pack Tactics on Tuesday. Wizard Sibs will be coming back on the following Monday. Art's being worked on for it as we speak, so soon we will be back. But yes, Pack Tactics on Tuesday. No Love War Extra, where we're continuing to play our favorite game, which is come up with out-of-context possible titles for the episode and just leave them in the Discord for Sarahs to find and be shocked at. It's my new favorite every other Saturday game. But with that out of the way, there's not much going on, so I guess it'll just be time for me to take us to our lovely theme song, made by the lovely X Wiley Willie. All right.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We certainly weren't up to mischief.
Not at all.
Then I'm disappointed in you.
You would have
Just
been
like my dad.
disappointed anyway. Oh god.
Oh, Lord.
It's fine. It's fine. Esteemed guests, we are doing great here on the live Twitch stream of Those Who Wander. We're doing great, actually.
Never done better.
So, I think to make things interesting this week, since we have a player rejoining us after a time away, I'm going to elect to choose my own recap.
Ooh.
With the deliberate decision to let the player characters fill in the gaps.
Oh boy.
We don't want Sheila to do the recap.
I mean, we could if Sheila would like to do the recap. But I think, given how long it's been,
We all made some really bad decisions.
Whoa!
Does that sum it up?
You were here the whole
Thank you.
time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like I never left.
you know, the comment about making some really bad decisions, I hate to say it, I'm not sure that's too far off.
Counterpoint. When have we ever made a good one?
You have actually. There are several times where you have made really wise decisions.
Huh.
I think
No,
the only one
that's the surprising part.
No, the only one I think that can qualify is when we like save the ghost.
That is one of them. That is one time, one of a couple that you have made a really
One
wise
of a
choice.
couple.
We also became friends with Juji.
You did. That was a wise choice.
True, true. You have no more choices, right? That was it.
But what I will say is this. Amongst our intrepid heroes journeying endlessly through the swamps and the wood, through the dangers unknown, the crew was separated due to, in part, a intriguing smell that drew one of our party members away from the rest, only to then be further separated by the rolling, uncontrollable, and mysterious mists that plague the lands of Carticus. And on the other side, our intrepid heroes, each on their own, found a little town seemingly in the middle of nowhere, not even marked on the map, by the name of Melancholy, where, for some, mysteries and exciting revelations were unfolded, while for others, aimlessly wandering alone, with no idea in sight of the rest of their party members. And while some had decided to spend time at the tavern, collecting additional information, finding a next place to be and a place to go, others were stalking the alleyways, climbing the roofs, and looking for some place to lay their head. And with that, we return with the doors opening to the Long Claw Inn, where I believe the party, specifically of Razvan, Humphrey, and Branson, had opted to stay for the night, finding themselves, well, awakened by morning's light. And as the three of you come downstairs, you are greeted by a very particular, familiar, shall we say, aura. There's a presence that feels off but familiar. As following the passive perceptions, Humphrey in particular, you notice there is in that other room to the side of the inn, there is a sleek, furry tail resting on the dining room table. And you know what? You would know that tail anywhere.
Humphrey pulls at Razvan's cape.
I told you I had a rough night. What is... Oh,
Humphrey just points towards. That who I think it is.
I do not know. Could it be? Has our long-lost companion returned to us?
We're saying all of this out loud, I imagine.
Yes.
Yes, correct. I would love, Onyx, if you can, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh,
Oh, Constitution. Oh.
Mhm.
Okay,
I've been
let me
spotted.
try.
I take psychic damage.
Oh. Okay. I don't know if that worked.
Yeah, what's
sneak
it?
attack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that what? No, okay. My screen is kind of frozen and I can only see like quarter of the page at a time. So I just hit Constitution. Okay, let me try again.
If you'd like, Saris as well, if you give us control over the
Yeah.
character sheet, we can roll for them if they wish.
Absolutely am in the process of doing that. I'm fighting Roll20 on main with fisticuffs.
Yeah,
Beat its
my
ass.
Roll20 is just stuck.
It happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead and refresh it, but we got you.
I
Yeah.
did, and I see it says sneak.
Well, you're seeing that now.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I
Let
tried
me-
refreshing, and I'm going to show you how it looks on my screen, like instead of where it says,
Okay.
submit roll, because
I-
yeah.
For the sake of
Oh.
ease, Zan, do you mind if Zan, do you mind if I give you
Not at all.
Onyx?
Yeah, I do not mind.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to show you what my screen looks like after refreshing. Do you see where there's like a thing where it says input value?
Huh.
Yeah.
How do you not play on dark mode?
Are we shaming that now?
Yes.
Good.
Look, play whatever you got to do. Play the game however you got to play. But every time I'm not in light mode, or every time I'm in light mode, so when I'm not in dark mode, I feel like I'm being flashbanged.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It depends on what device I'm using it on. Like, if I'm, like, say, on Twitter on my PC, it's light mode because I'm usually in a dark room. But if I'm out and about, it has to be on dark mode on any other thing I'm using.
That's one thing I dislike about the Roll20. Like, of course, you have a dark mode, but the default screen, like the game screen, is white no matter what. And it's like, why? Unless you put something that is flashbanging your eyes.
Okay. I don't have Onyx's character sheet, but I do have control of Onyx. it
Okay,
looks
that's
like.
weird. Okay, Roll20. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight on main. Let's try one more thing.
I know there is an option for giving other, like, people other character sheets because we've done it in Saved by the Spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, the trying is the operative word here. Apologies, folks. Because it says that you should be able to do it.
Huh.
If not, I will. I
Fairness,
will
yeah,
swim.
okay. It loaded. We
Okay.
good. Alright,
Okay.
Constitution save throw, coming
yeah.
up. Oops, that's not wrong one, but Sheila rolled an 11.
Okay. Onyx, you find your dreams to be empty. You don't remember anything. But your sleep was, for all intents and purposes, restful, even if it was on a dining room table. And as your friends are talking, your ears perk as you awake to the sounds of your companions talking about you. And after not having known where they were, as you had lost them due to incredibly dense and rolling mists that seemed to have transported you from where you originally were to where you are now. Well, I'll let you decide how it is that you wake up.
I hear Humphrey and Razwan talking about me. My ears perk up, as does my tail, and I wake up. Humphrey?
Mrs. Onyx, how are you here? I mean, I'm glad to see you and see that you're safe, but what happened?
Oh, I got lured away by a strange scent and I followed it, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up on this table. It's really you.
We have been worried sick about you. I am really glad that you're okay.
Yes, as am I. Is everyone unharmed? I don't see annoyance. Did you feed them to the wolf creatures?
We found out that her name is Juji, and no, she left of her own accord once we arrived in town.
Also, to the question that if we look on harm, I imagine Razvan looks like shit.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, but
Oh,
Yeah, their name was Yuji. We've actually just said goodbye to them as we got into the city.
well, I'm pleased to be the only feline companion of yours again.
I hate the feeling you would say something like that.
For what it's worth, you are irreplaceable, regardless of how many feelings there might be out there.
Still, you look as though you are in some form of distress or exhaustion. Are you wounded at all?
No, no wounds. I could probably use something more comfortable than a table to sleep on, but I'm unharmed,
Please,
which
I rented a room for the evening. You can use the bed. I've slept.
thank you.
Have you?
Yeah,
Not very well, but it's not the bed's fault.
thank you.
Of course. Are you hungry? Do you need any sort of food or drink?
Of course. I would be happy to share a meal. Is anyone else going to join me?
Where
We were
can we sit?
actually
Oh, good.
going towards the mess hall to. Well, the night was weird. We hope to talk it over at breakfast.
Ah, yes, I'd like to hear about everything that's happened while we eat.
Of course, we'd love to hear what's happened to you as well.
Humphrey, have you seen Branson anywhere?
He said he was coming down just to give him some time.
You might want to go find him and share the good news.
Humphrey nods. Very well, I will do so. And Humphrey starts walking away.
I'll just say, like, if you knock on a door, you'll hear a grunt and the sound of like armor just shifting, and then finally, like, half his armor on, he'll be like, "What do you want?" "Oh, it's you, Humphrey."
Mr. Bronson, Mrs. Onyx, she's back.
"Oh, that's good. All right, give me a moment." And you see he's like trying to pull up his one knee pad, and everything
I love
else.
that. I love that all three of us want to be grumpy, but then every single time we're going to be grumpy, we see it's Humphrey, and we're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool." I'll be a little less. I'll be not grumpy because of Humphrey, and that's the only reason.
To be fair, it would have been any of you four.
Specifically because of Humphrey.
Yeah, I mean, Branson is much nicer to all three of you than he has been to anyone else you've seen him interact with.
I just like the idea that it's like, oh no, it's Humphrey.
But yeah, I will finish donning my armor, grabbing my things, pulling the axe out of the wall that I embedded it in, and head on down to meet Onyx and the rest.
Humphrey actually looks at the wall and says out loud, like, "Do you think they are going to make us pay for that?"
Branson will turn back to you with like a raised eyebrow. "They can try."
We can debate over breakfast.
Yeah, alright, let us go. I need something in my stomach.
Humphrey does take another look at the room before they go to see again the state in which it was left.
Perception.
Yeah, we do. Come on, roll 20, don't be so slow.
Well, 20 said no.
There we go. Oh,
26.
yep.
All right. You'll
Oh.
notice, because time has been passing, that the dampness that you saw before has begun to dry out, reverting to a state that it likely previously was. Although, unless Branson has shut the window is still open.
I think he would have been too self-absorbed in the scene, what he was doing with the holy symbol last session, to have closed it.
That's what I thought. So yeah, still open. You can
Humphrey will-
hear the beginnings. Sorry, you can hear the beginnings of, shall we say, morning movement from outside.
Humphrey will quietly go and close the room and trying to assess if the room feeling more dry now is that just like natural like moisture drying, or if it doesn't match what I would expect.
Yeah, it does match.
Very well. So let's go down, Mr. Bronson. I think we all have much to talk about.
Alright, yes. And so we head on down.
You head down. And were Razvan and Onyx just downstairs while this was happening?
Rosvan would have been like ordering appropriate food and drink for Onyx.
Yeah, so what you find out is this little inn does have, shall we say, a bit of a continental breakfast sort of deal going on. You watch as, while the two of them are having their brief little interaction upstairs, the one closed door in this kitchen or this dining area, the space opens, and you watch as this older woman actually comes out. Seems to be actually, if you remember the innkeep, I believe. No, I'm sorry, not the innkeep. Sorry, my notes are all over the place. I'm thinking of a different character. No, this older woman. Yes, this older woman, who is um somehow managing. She's got like, how do I put this? You know the stereotypical like housemaid where it's this older woman who has like really nice kept clothes, but she definitely has like the demeanor of someone who is really busy and working on a million things all at once, and has in her hands this giant, like, I'm talking like one of those deep pots with a lid on it and a ladle in the other hand, and she's carrying it out, and she sort of spreads out what looks to be this sort of mat, this woven mat, and she places it on top of this mat on one of the tables, setting the ladle to the side of it. Um, and after a few moments, runs back through the door, comes back out with a bunch of bowls and um, a little sign, like a handwritten little sign that says, "Please take." Um, Please take, but only one, as if implying like one bowlful. Um, and that's just kind of set out. You'll also note that she has set out a pitcher of what appears to be just water, but no sort of mugs or glasses or anything of the sort.
Razvan will take as much as he can within reason, and give probably a little bit more than Onyx needs to Onyx.
Onyx accept. This is the bowl, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Onyx accepts a bowl. Thank you.
The bowl has what you find in the giant pot is this kind of like brownish, almost porridge-like consistency of food. Ah, it smells better than it looks. You smell very faint traces of cinnamon, but otherwise it doesn't like smell disgusting. It doesn't smell pungent.
Cinnamon is it is a good sort of spice that is used to protect and keep warm.
Thank you for the food. Onyx takes a careful bite.
You look like you've certainly gone through it.
As do you. I can't wait to hear about everything that's befallen you.
Yes, of course, but perhaps it would be better to wait for the others as well.
Yes. Shall we find enough space for all of us to sit down and eat?
Of course. Here, follow me. Walk this way.
Onyx follows.
And Rosman does a silly walk, hoping that Onyx also does a silly walk. It's an old bit, I know, but I had to.
Listen, man, I love the Marx Brothers. I'm down for it.
I wish I could describe this walk that like okay, I'm gonna try to describe Momo's walk that he does when he's on his like hind legs the best. But pretty much just like a funny walk with like the tail swaying side to side. Like tiny little sideways hops. Almost like a kitty crab walk.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Razvan will find a table suitable for the resized party and await for Humphrey and Branson.
Very easy to do, as it seems that you're the only ones here right now. And the two of them descend. I assume very easily rejoining the party.
I want to imagine like
And as I
I just want to imagine like we came in right as they both were doing their silly walks and we're just going, what is going on?
Oh, sorry, I was trying to lighten the mood. Please, serve yourself something to eat. It seems that it is customary with where we are, so enjoy.
Onyx waves at Branson.
I'm glad you're not dead.
Likewise, friend.
Ugh. But yeah, ladle out some of the morning stew. Fill up just take his usual camping mug out and just pours the water in, and just piles up whatever ambient protein might be around, and then just heads over to the table.
Ambient protein in my indie band.
you were able to find some nuts. Pretty much, that's unfortunately all there really is.
Oh, nuts. I mean, that's protein.
Mm-hmm. Like, you get the idea that this man only eats for mass. Like, he saw the rat that we caught that one time, it's just like, good.
Every day is bulk day.
Yep.
It's funny because I'm actually working on making a little stew pot for a cosplay right now.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah,
Doesn't look very appetizing.
For his part, Humphrey will check if there is any kettle to boil water for tea or any other warm beverage.
Yeah, there's pretty much it. So you were able to take some and join the rest of your party.
So we have discovered a few things about this place. It's not big enough to be a village, even. Heesh. But, there is someone who deals in, let's say, dishonest goods. He may be able to help us. There's someone else, but I can't remember the name.
Do you know where to find him?
He owns a store. It's like one of the only stores in town.
But please, we are getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Welcome, if you have not been formally introduced, not only to the Long Claw Inn, but to Melancholy, the first town we have found inhabited since we have arrived here. There was a rather strange but kind man named Barhu. I do not know if you had the chance to see him.
No, I haven't. I haven't seen anyone.
I see. Well, Barhu and who we later found out the annoyance was named Chuchi, helped guide us here. And we've done our best to try and rest and remain as under any sort of suspicion as possible while we've been here, but it would seem that myself and Branson had a particularly rough night of nightmares, and from the look of you, it looks as though you have had the same.
Yes, I certainly haven't been sleeping well.
Humphrey?
I don't know what to say. I seem to be the only one to be able to rest. My night was sleepless. I mean, dreamless. And somehow there is a lingering feeling that that is for the best. Feeling very much reassured by your reactions, your current states. When I went into your room, I'm sorry, Miss Onyx. I really want to hear more about your adventures, but my immediate concern is Mr. Rathbun. When I went to your room, Mr. Branson, when I went to yours, you were in complete disarray. Especially Mr. Branson.
Branson? Did you have any particularly prophetic nightmares, or was it just a lack of sleep?
It took me back to my caravan.
Anything else there, or was that enough for you to be vexed?
I was vexed being taken back to something that was destroyed over 5 years ago. But at least it did not force me to look upon the bodies again. Then the shadows attacked me and tried to drown me.
I see. And I too had troubling phantoms of a dream regarding where I was and who I could become. But the dread of such a beast did not plague me for too long, fortunately. How about you, Onyx?
I've had unsettling sleep, although that could also be from just laying on the table all night. Perhaps if I were to sleep on a bed, I could get more rest, but my time away from all of you has been uneventful. Has anything else been plaguing you apart from the nightmares? What else have you experienced?
It is difficult to say. Lot of where we are, this strange realm we find ourselves in, does not adhere to what is normal for at least what I am from. The mists, they traveled, they followed, almost chased us. We took refuge within a cave once we found our friend Barhu. Finding a cult with no name. Not that it is undefined, that is their name, is a cult with no name. At least the remnants of them inside this cave. By the time we were able to leave, the mist had faded away, and we were able to slowly advance and make our way towards, here, Melancholy. We've been trying to get our bearings ever since, but outside of the small details of our travel, that is the long and short of what we have found.
Well, we also
The
found
name
out
seems fitting for the town.
something that's very important you should know. You know how common it is to walk into a dwarf in a regular city where we're from?
Yes.
Imagine that, but with were creatures.
Yes, it would appear lichens are very normal for this place. However, the lichens that attacked us may not be of the same faction, it would seem, as many of the lichens that we have encountered here within town.
There are different factions, all equally threatening, I suppose.
It would appear so, yes.
Yes, this bar who we traveled with waited until he parted ways with us to show us that he was a werebear of all things. Never even heard of that.
Neither have I, but a werebear sounds delightful.
He was. Hopefully we see him again. But for now, our lead, as Branson said, it takes us to a place that is still relatively unknown. It is rather fortuitous that you arrive, because an extra pair of eyes for potentially delving into this unscrupulous character's motives would be very helpful.
Also, don't openly carry your silver weapons unless you're prepared for a fight. He says with 2 silvered weapons hanging off his belt.
with all that being said, as we were talking yesterday, we intend for our stay here to only be temporary. We have set our sights in the city of Skald. It is the largest city in the near vicinity, and the idea is that getting ourselves there should give us, hopefully, some more clarity about what is our purpose here.
Well, so far my operating idea is that we are getting to Skald because it will have the most people and the most answers. It's also one of the few places where I might find hint of my prey.
Indeed.
Ray,
Turn
you
towards the
hear a
voice.
voice. It is the same innkeeper, not the person you saw just now, but the same innkeeper that you saw before. And since Onyx has not seen this person before, I will revisit the description for you. You see an incredibly long, lanky humanoid with long pigtails, wearing what appears to be like normal workers' clothes, a pair of slacks and a coat, but the coat looks, well, shall we say, of better sorts. It doesn't necessarily look super generic. It looks a bit more, shall we say, fancy than the average leather coat. But the biggest thing to note is that sleeves are pushed up, and sitting on her shoulder is I believe I said it was a squirrel.
Yep.
Yeah, squirrel. A squirrel hanging out on her shoulder. She looks to the four of you and goes, "Well, that's really interesting that you're finding prey." Don't mind me just nosing in on here, making sure that everything is well and accounted for, and that your stay was all good and nice. But you got me quite curious, if I'm being honest. Especially since you're talking about going to Skald, and I'll be honest, I've always wanted to go see it myself, but I haven't been able to, because I gotta run this little shop here.
Well,
Why Skald? What's your prey?
my prey is a vampire necromancer.
I'm gonna roll to see if she knows what that is. You ever see the blankest of blank head empty stares
I have worked in retail, yes.
I have a mirror.
with the smile, the telltale smile of what? That is the expression that you are being fed.
Hmm. A very bad wizard who drinks blood.
She's gonna roll to see if she knows what a wizard is.
This child.
Oh, come on.
One eye blinks and then the other.
Dear Lord. Next you're gonna tell me she bleps.
No. The squirrel does, though, tilt its head curiously at you and sniffs.
Well, also it's pretty good that you don't come with us. We have not spent a single day since we came here not having to kill something that's trying to kill us.
Sounds really tough.
You'll watch Branson hold up and do the half and half hand. Eh.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You notice that she doesn't leave.
You'll know.
Kind of
You'll know.
stands there
Bra-
listening.
Branson turned his head back towards the group and is not acknowledging her and is
Sure.
just eating his breakfast.
For sure.
Humphrey, for his part, is serving her a cup of tea.
Incredible. She kind of looks at you and she's like, "Oh, I'm good, thank you. That's for you."
Very well.
Like, just the gesture just completely goes over her head.
So then. Actually, Humphrey stops and looks at the innkeeper. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
No.
How common it is around here for people to have nightmares?
Are you asking people in general or me, myself, and I? And Shrimp. Gestures to the squirrel.
All of the above.
I don't know as people really talk much about that stuff, at least not that I'm privy to. But Shrimp doesn't talk, or at least I haven't heard him talk. I sometimes have nightmares. Why do you ask?
No particular reason. Just some of our group have been experiencing them lately and felt kind of sudden. I tend to get concerned about things happening all at once. You know, it's rarely a coincidence.
What's a coinky dink?
Humphrey looks at the group.
I do not know what a coinky dink is, but from the inference, it's coincidence is something that is strange that it happened in context to something else that also happened. For instance, if you were to say, "Hey, I need a copper coin to, I don't know, get through this door," and you happen to find a copper coin on the ground as you think this, that is a coincidence.
You see her thinking very hard. She sort of slowly nods. I would like anyone who would like to do an insight check.
By all means, yes. It's a 14.
Okay.
Natural one.
Okay.
Amazing.
Branson just thinks she's simple and is not going to comment on it because that would be rude.
Okay.
I don't have
Damn.
to
Onyx?
comment.
Is Onyx going to insight?
Someone's going to have to roll for me.
That's
Sure,
fine.
I
I
do
just want to know if you're doing it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Branson really hit him with the bless your heart, huh?
You know what? I'm going to look that up in actual Russian.
Hey, Zan.
Yeah.
Guess what? Aggressor wins.
Oh, well, I mean, Onyx got a 15.
On a natural one, aggressor wins.
Oh.
Oh, this poor child.
This has gone over this innkeeper's head completely. That like she's working. She's thinking so hard right now. Like,
Coincidence. Think of it like if someone were to say that they are lucky, something happened to them. Very often, it is a coincidence that has been attributed to that luck. Coincidence is luck, good or bad.
yay!
You'll just
Thumbs up.
You'll just hear under Branson's breath, Blood's voice starts to say,
What?
Do not worry about it.
Okay.
that was the Russian translation.
Oh, I believe you. She doesn't know what she just said.
On a different note, if you don't mind me asking, is there any fee for any kind of damage that may happen to a room?
What do you mean damage?
I could describe it, but I believe it's best if you examine it by yourself.
Okay. Go on, Shrimp. And you watch as the squirrel literally jumps off of her shoulder and scurries out of the room and up the stairs, climbing up the banister.
Humphrey looks at Branson. We are paying for it. We are not criminals.
Branson's not making eye contact with anyone. At this point, he's like, this is a trying breakfast. I'm just going to eat my nuts.
It's
Oh.
Hmm.
Smiling. Where are you all from?
That is a far more complicated question that I would like to believe.
I am from. And I was born on a ship, spent most of my life at sea.
Oh, okay. So you're probably. Oh, come on, cooperate. So then, you see her doing like the biggest of things for a minute as I fight roll 20.
Me, what I think.
Yeah, right. So, are you? The only port city that I know is Medria. Are you from Medria?
Eh, none of us are from Garthicus, if that is what you are asking.
How?
How did we get here, or how are we not from here?
Yeah, 'cause the mists, they she's thinking so hard right now. She's genuinely full of confusion.
Surely we are not the only travelers who have come through here who have not been from Garthicus.
Mm, no, you'd be the first I've ever met.
Oh. In truth, the mists are exactly how we got here. We wandered in through a mist, trying to escape a particular predicament. And when we left the mist, we arrived somewhere here on Garthicus. We've
They
been
didn't
trying to...
outright kill you?
No. Unless we are dead. He kind of pinches himself.
If you were dead, you would
We
have
are,
set off
if
the
anything-
lantern.
Well, no, if I'm undead.
We are, if anything, resilient. But yes, we are outsiders to this place. that helps as a description.
It just pure confusion written on this woman's face. I don't get it. I don't get it. But you're here, which means you're not lying. So I guess I have to believe you?
I'm sure there are many reasons why someone might travel this far and lie about what where
Yeah,
they
but
are
if you
from.
traveled through the mists and you're sitting in front of me, I guess it means that the mist didn't kill you, so...
True. We met a friend along the way. Perhaps you know of him. His name is Barhu.
Oh... I don't recall. I'm
Uh,
really bad at names.
it's quite alright. Not important, but I appreciate the conversation and the hospitality you have given us thus far. But I believe me and my companions, once we are finished here with breakfast, have a task we must attend to.
Oh, like you're busy. Oh, got it. You're busy. Got it. Understood.
But before you leave, there is a matter of settling up the damages that we caused to one of your rooms.
Yeah, but we gotta wait for Shrimp to get back. And as if almost on cue, you hear the skittering of claws against the floor. And the squirrel actually comes up on the table and holds up 2 claws.
Humphrey tilts his head to one side. 2. Looks at the innkeeper.
2. By that, probably 2 gold pieces. 2 gold pieces.
Rosvan will hand over 2 gold pieces.
Incredible. The squirrel takes the gold, nibbles on it a little bit, inspects it a lot, actually, before shoving it in its cheeks and then crawling up the woman's arm.
I forgot it's a bigger than usual squirrel because it's, dear lord, regular sized squirrel that'd
Yeah.
be bigger than its head.
Rowan, some unusual size.
Mr. Ransford, are you sure you don't want me to help with that bill?
No, it is quite alright. But I would like to get started on our day, especially now that we are returned to our full strength. Onyx, it is so good to see you.
It's good to be back among friends.
Right, shall we get started upon our day?
Yes, let's go.
Yes, are we going to find this shopkeeper you told me about?
Yes, Brunson, lead us.
All right. Branson will head towards you. Could you remind me the name of the place? I know it's like something Emporium or something.
The indoor outpost.
Thank you. He will head to the indoor outpost, which I believe we saw but didn't go in yesterday.
Correct. And this particular establishment, as I had said, looks almost like a tent with sort of like a fencing, if you will, like a wooden enclosure, but with a tented roof. And as you walk inside, you see, well, the best thing that I could describe is a combination of different things, kind of immediately giving you the sense of things that you would not expect to find here, right? Things that could not be procured in a smaller village of this sort. You see different different carts full of books, various sizes, various degrees of wear. You see scrolls as well, again, various sizes, various degrees of wear. You see, um, actually, Rosman, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to roll me with advantage. We're going to go ahead and we're going to say that this is going to be a little weird, so just trust me on this, but it's going to be a performance roll, but the performance roll itself is not that you are performing, but rather I'm going to treat it as recognition because I feel like this would be more based around recognition um, than than
I'm critiquing someone's performance.
kind of, yeah, but in the sense of like someone who is familiar with performing would recognize this thing, but a general like a knowledge roll would not necessarily suffice in my mind. So for the players at home, if you're wondering what I'm doing, just let me have this. Roll this.
20 total.
20 total. So you recognize actually, unironically, a couple of different instruments here. For starters, you notice there are a couple of different types of hand carved wooden flutes. Um, again, of like various size and various different qualities. Some of them appear to have like decorative engravings. Some of them appear to have sorts of these sorts of like uh, almost like not quite runes, but you know when like someone will put like etchings and whatnot inside of them. But then other ones that just seem like someone took a stick and carved it into a flute sort of situation. You notice surprisingly a really well made lyre. Um, just from looking at it, appears to have some type of golden inlay. And it seems to be of like really really smooth. If it has been used, it's been used rather lightly, either that or it was brand new, brand made. Seems to still be a hand carved wood, but nevertheless far more extravagant than any of the flutes that you see on display. You would also notice um give me just a second. Look into. You would also notice a sort of I'm forgetting the name of the specific type of drum, but it's one of uh those like hand drums where it has like the wooden frame and then like sheep skin
A bongo?
sort of folded over. No, because it doesn't have like the base. It's one that
Hmm.
you typically like hold in your hand with like your hand on the
Botherum?
inside of the frame. Possibly.
Hmm.
Um
Tambourine?
when No, it doesn't have it's close to a tambourine, yes, but it doesn't have the little what are they called? The like the symbol like
Yeah.
yeah. But you
I
typically
think it's a Botherum, yeah. Let
probably
me.
then. Yeah.
let-
But it's one of the ones that you kind of bang with a little mallet. There's one of those.
hmm,
Um Otherwise you also see here a great deal of like woven like tapestries. You see some clothing that looks to be a bit more, shall we say, like regal, more fancy, more expensive than what you have seen around this town. um it looks even more expensive than what you saw in the decrepit and ravished manor in that other that other massacred city or town. Rather, it's not a city, town. um and you also see a lot of like handheld weapons. So you see a lot of like daggers and axes, couple of smaller like clubs, but they seem to be really well made. Most of them made of like either like an iron or some type of less pure metal, but still effective nonetheless. You also see, of course, as you're looking around, you don't really see a lot of people. You see one person who's just kind of staring at the merchandise, but has this sort of like far off expression in their eye. And then you see this other individual who um, is rather stockier in size, appears to have actually what all of you would recognize as like traveler's clothing on, um, and has completely shaved their head. You see, um, believe it or not, a little what appears to be like a little marking, like blackish marking around their left ear, that appears to be some type of um, like vine with thorns that ends in a wilted rose at the base of the front of their ear. Um, and they kind of look to notice that you've stepped in, and they're like, ah, for once, adventurers, my kind of people. Please come in, come in. Uh, do feel free to browse my wares. If anything catches your fancy, please feel free to let me know.
Rosvan will kind of window shop around for a bit.
Could you remind?
Letting, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, could you remind me of the names, since I'm not able to take notes of that was given to me for this person that is looking for work or people to work?
The person that you were told is the owner of the outpost, and also is the person looking for work, is Lychee Dordo.
We were told to come find a Lychee Dordo.
That would be me.
From what I saw at the tavern, you need help transporting goods to Skald.
Yeah, actually, that would be delightful if you don't mind. These woods are not exactly best traveled on their own, and unfortunately, the last group of people I traveled with have parted ways.
Alright, that'll be fine. Though, if you could help me out, he'll present his main axe. Do you know someone who could have this silvered?
He's gonna insight check you.
He is going to get... I will say it'll be very easy, because Branson does not have much guile.
Mm-hmm.
So just let me know what he rolled, and I'll tell you what he gets.
14.
This guy has the look of somebody who... I have been attacked by so many were creatures in the last 42 hours. I am sick of having to deal with it.
There's like a small smirk that kind of tugs at the corner of his mouth, and he looks to you, and he sort of eyes you up and down, and then looks to the rest of your party and goes, if you don't mind me asking, do you have an allegiance? And it's keeping his voice very quiet when he's asking this.
We are not from this land. What do you think?
In my line of work, that doesn't always mean anything. While this conversation is in whispers is happening, first off, to the rest of the party, do you want to listen in? Or I know Razvan, you were window shopping. I don't know if you were listening in.
He'd be listening, but kind of keeping his distance.
Okay.
Humphrey's pretty much the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Onyx is also just browsing, but has ears perked.
I'm gonna go ahead and use your passive perceptions on this for this, and I'm going to Yeah, okay, cool. Excellent. So the three of you also hear this conversation. But as you are kind of browsing and perusing, you do notice that the other person, I should say, not people, who is in here seems to be paying no mind. The reason I ask is because a question like that, depending on who you ask, will get you killed. But I know a guy. I know several. Depends on where you want to go. If you're heading to Skald, I could put you in the right direction. For a price.
I think that's negotiable considering you have given us a good enough reason and direction to Skald.
Oh, and if you're doing it for work on me, we'll just say it's a. Perhaps we can arrange just a small portion of taken out of your pay, and that'll be it.
Sure, take it out of mine. Let my comrades get their full boon.
Done deal. For the record, I am willing to pay 25 gold pieces per day. It will take us a few days to get to the city
Fair
of
enough.
travel.
Is
Per
there,
person, mind you.
is there anything we need to know, or specifically things we need to know to not tell people?
Well, first off, the fact that you want things silvered, the fact that you might have silver weaponed. You see, Skald is the capital city of Carticus. It's the crux of all the happenings. Anyone who is anyone wants to be in Skald, and anyone who is anyone either finds themselves with a target on their back or a passerby.
I have a question if it might also be something that you would be able to move in different places. We came from a village about a few days' travel from here to the woods. Apparently, they didn't pay the right tax, so a lot of the valuables from that place were left to rot, along with the bodies. And he will tap to the wrapped up great axe on his back. Some of them might have been used for self-defense. Would you want?
Interesting.
Yes, and I am willing to part with these because they are of no use to me.
How much you want for it?
Well, it would be hard to move, and it's not often that someone uses a great axe. Maybe 5, 10 gold most, just for its weight in metal. And the fact that it is silvered.
Done deal. And he holds his hand out for the weapon.
Yep, I'm just moving it off my sheet. He will hand him the hefty silvered great axe.
You watch as he actually tests it for quality.
Brance is not surprised.
Before.
Brance is leaning on literally everything he ever learned in the caravan, but never did because he was a fucking teenager.
Right. But he seems satisfied. He's kind of nodding to himself. Seems rather satisfied by the by the quality of the great axe, and he hands over the 10 gold pieces.
Thank you. When do you want to leave? We might want to stock up on a few things. This is the first bit of civilization we've found in about 5, 6 days.
Tomorrow at dawn. It's not smart to move at night, and I still have a full day's worth of business to do here before I want to take off again.
Fair enough. Anyone else? Do you need anything?
No. I believe it's probably better for us to travel light.
Indeed.
I agree.
Humphrey tips his hat towards the shopkeeper. It will be a pleasure doing business with you.
Can I, sorry, not to be rude, can I at least get the names of the fine adventurers who will be escorting me through the woods?
I am Brunson.
I'm
Humphrey,
Onyx.
Humphrey makes a short bow. Humphrey, don't reel.
Razvan Pelua.
Pleasure's mine. You can call me Lychee.
Well, Lichi, here's to a hopefully mutually beneficial business arrangement.
I look forward to it. I would like you all to roll an insight check.
We'll absolutely do.
This'll be funny. Actually, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Somehow I'm proficient in insight.
Very nice.
Okay.
Humphrey got a 14.
23.
Razvan and Onyx.
13 for Razvan. And 18 for Onyx.
You all pass. He seems rather intrigued by the four of you, and you get the distinctive sense that he's amused and or pleased by the fact that your companion here has asked about and has done trade with silvered weapons. I will also note, Razvan, I am going to drop a quick little fun thing that you also notice in the Discord.
All right. Interesting. Razvan will keep that to himself for now.
Sounds good.
Branson didn't just.
By all means.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's just go. There's two other things I would ask about since we have the day. This town is full of artists. Do you know any that actually can draw?
Draw?
Yes. I need something that will easily convey a portrait of someone.
Not here. Not in Melancholy. But I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but let's just say I know a guy in Skald.
Alright, and that answers the second question, because I'm pretty sure nobody can magically mend an item.
Yeah, not here. Unfortunately, this is one of those towns that is trying to become bigger, trying to become greater. But it's not quite big enough, and it doesn't have, shall we say, the lure.
Fair enough. Then I will let my companions see if there's anything they need, and then we will prepare for our journey.
I look forward to, if not doing, shall we say, sales with you, doing travel with you. At this point, I do have to ask, is there anything that any of you wish to either buy or sell while you are here?
For his part, Humphrey is good.
Same for Onyx.
Yeah, same for Razvan. I think, again, like, trying to pack light would be smarter here.
And yeah, from what he told me, it'd probably be smarter just to sell what the random tchotchkes, like the silvered mirror and other stuff in Skald than here.
Then with that, what would you like to do with your time at this point?
We have until tomorrow for leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now I think that was our only lead. So, since we want to explore the town, I think we could just potentially just get rest for tomorrow.
We could. There's only the only other person who might have had something for us was someone who had a like a gutter kid name, but I can't remember it. It was because I basically latched onto Leche because I was like, I can talk to merchants.
There was also the theater. There is a stage where people perform. We got into town around the same time there was like a big performance that we did not join in. If you think Raslan would be interested in that,
In truth, it is difficult to say. What gives me any form of inspiration here is not the need to perform, but to explore and to see this place. It is so unique. Everyone's perspectives that live here, but also every place that we go has a unique signature to it. Hard to describe, but I hope to find words for it in the future. For now, I'd rather not perform until I understand exactly what is at play here, or rather, who is at play. Getting an idea as to what factions there are and why they differ from each other would be instrumental in understanding what we might be doing here, but also where we will tread when we arrive at Skald.
in that regard, it may not necessarily be a matter of us performing, but witnessing what it is that these people want to express. Again, I am still trying to find my bearings on such a bleak location. The fact that just the entire erasure of one town seems to be normal, that everyone seems to be afraid of speaking out against anyone of werewolf kind.
I agree. This question also, I believe, needs to find an answer, but it would appear that Melancholy is a rather small town in comparison to where those answers might be found. What I will say is that if we were to wish to investigate the performances, perhaps we can find more people with looser lips at such events, but that would be the closest thing I could figure to finding those answers. As well as Humphrey, if I can be completely honest.
Yes, I wouldn't expect anything else.
I do not do so good in front of crowds. Public speaking is not a skill that I have invested time into.
I see. I apologize if I was assuming.
Oh no,
It was
it's
not my
quite alright.
intention.
Most of my interactions are with quill and paper, not crowds. I prefer one-on-one interactions. I can really understand and measure and value interaction between one person and another. With groups, not so much.
Are you all speaking openly as you're having this conversation, or are you keeping it hushed?
Telepathically. No, yeah, openly.
Okay. I was more like, are you whispering, or are you because at that you hear the voice of Lychee pop up and say, I hate to eavesdrop on your conversation, but as a bard of your kind, you might find interest in the message boards. Not all bards in these towns or in these cities perform with music, though many do, and it is quite the commodity. Many perform in other ways. I think you would find yourself quite at home, maybe perhaps not at a concert hall, but in a tavern.
Ah, yes. taverns are a bit easier for me to find function. Liquid courage and all.
Oh, no, I meant the sharing of stories and the, shall we say, smaller key events. I hate to call them writers' battles, but this is one of those things that unfortunately, uh, it's hard to explain to an outsider exactly what makes it work. But let's just say that you will find sometimes hidden on message boards conversations amongst anonymous artists that either go in the direction of mutual contemplation and support, or, well, like I said, in the form of battle where they argue amongst themselves, never knowing who the other person is on the other side.
Where did you say that this message board can be found?
In a tavern. The same place. They're usually hidden. You know how sometimes different, different wanted posters and job postings and what have you might be shown up on like a notice board. There's usually hidden somewhere, not in plain sight. It'll be amongst the many papers, but you'll see a thread of documents, usually with no necessarily like name to it. They may or may not make sense as you read them, but you'll see them hidden somewhere on the board. And almost every active tavern in all of Cardicus has one.
That is good to know. Well, not that I am one to immediately rush towards the tavern every time there is an opportunity, but I have no other leads.
Sounds like a good idea to me as well.
The one other alternative I could envision is just dropping by the Nature's Guild, and since that was Baru's place of employment, or at the very least connection.
Honestly, if they have any messages that need to be sent to Skald, we might as well take them.
Doubling down on the job wouldn't be a bad idea.
True.
Then it sounds like that's where we're heading.
To me, my friends, towards the tavern.
Or that.
Nobody will follow.
Walk
And
this way.
looks at Branson. We have a whole day. We can visit more than one place.
Branson will wait till
Do
everyone
not
else.
be a stranger. Please, feel free to stop in at any time.
And as everyone else leaves, Branson will stay back and then just say, "One last thing I just thought of. I will not hold against you what business you do. But if you are transporting anything that has to deal with necromancy, I suggest you leave it here for the next trip."
He's gonna insight you. He's gonna insight you.
I will make it actually much easier because I was planning on using it for something different. Give me a second here. He will look at him, and I'm going to use my background feature. Eyes of the Survivor.
Ooh, okay.
From this time, like, Branson's been pretty transparent, like, I have no reason to lie to you, and this is just business. He's now looking at this man saying, if you are going to transport anything that deals with necromancy, we'll take your goods to town. You won't make it back.
However, human trafficking, totally fine. We're cool with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a He doesn't even know that's a thing! This man has been living in the woods for 5 years! He just knows that if something sets off his lantern, he go and kill it.
Well, the only thing I can think of is the fact that it has to be a pun on the Eye of the Tiger, like Survivor. Come on.
I forget. It has,
Sorry.
it has such a dumb name for the actual like background feature, so I just renamed it to Eye of the Survivor because it's basically the angry version of that like 1,000-yard stare Vietnam meme.
Fair enough.
The way that he looks at you and that again, that tug at the corner of his mouth, that smirk returned, and he just eyes you up and down once more before saying, funny thing about that, and just a word of the wise. An item itself does not have to carry necromantic magic in order to be a proponent of necromancy. In a place like Carticus, all you need. And he literally, like, as he's saying this, is walking over to the instruments, and he picks up one of the flutes, and he does a little doot doot. Like, nothing happens, but he does a little doot doot. And he looks at you and goes, all you need is a little bit of magic and the right item, and it can be used for anything.
Fair enough. But on our way here, we found someone who was dealing with a lot of necromantic items. Before we even got there, they didn't make it. And then he'll say that, nod, and then just start heading back, following his friends. Because at this point, he's been in the store for like a minute.
Yep. And I am going to actually take a moment to pause here. I think this is where I'm going to call a break because my food has arrived and I would like to do a nom.
Fair enough.
Oh, heck yeah.
I did not expect to be the party face for that encounter. It just happened.
I mean, you were the one wanting to have an interaction, so absolutely.
Also,
I dig it.
Also, hey, Bob, hope you're enjoying your time. I know your Sundays might be a little bit more chaotic starting soon.
So I'll be right back.
But yeah, chat, I was making a joke earlier because to date this for future me, if I ever go back listening to it, earlier today was all in, and earlier this week, the Hatsune Miku from Brazil meme started. So literally for the last 3 hours, the only things on my Twitter feed have been wrestling at Wembley Stadium and Hatsune Miku's from around the world. That's basically it. Occasionally I'll get a random meme page or an ad for crypto because it's Twitter. That's basically my entire feed. So yeah, it's fun to have some gothic horror to spice up my day.
Welcome to the Burnout Vaughn Zan Halftime Show, sponsored by Cerveza Cristal.
I mean, yeah, that or Bud Light. If you honestly, Bud Light, all you'd have to do is just send me beer. It would save me so much more money that I would consider that an actual sponsorship. I mean, hey, seriously, that's like maybe $100 like every 7 days. Not 7 days, like 6 days. I could do a lot with $100. Like, there's so many friends I could commission.
We need a Cerveza Cristal emote.
See, that's the trick. Citrix my emote guy, and I don't think he'll do it.
He's not allowed to have them before I eat.
Of course, Bob.
I have a way with words.
I mean, true. So far, they have not failed us. But yeah, also, I am so glad that I've never used D&D Beyond for anything I've done on this channel. Because as a homebrewer, it's a pain in the ass. But now with what they're doing with all the new 5e stuff, I'm just like, yeah, wow. Forced obsolescence, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, are we talking about the? Sorry, I got up to go grab a fork.
Oh no.
Are we discussing the dumpster fire?
I was mentioning it just because I was trying to think of topics.
Oh yeah, no, that. Oh, people are mad.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, what did I tell you? I'm not sharing my food. Absolutely not.
But now me, I just now have more of a reason to go up to all my DM friends and be like, hey, look at this PDF of homebrew content that's been like burning a hole in my pocket for ages. Here's a bunch of spells that work in regular 5e that you can easily just upload in there. Go right ahead. Use this. Roll20s make it easier for us because they're actually being great for once. It's so weird to talk nicely about Roll20. My world's been turned upside down. See, Bob, that's exactly how I feel, because also, I get to find out that now my boss has to give me a raise in the next month or month and a half. I don't know what my next review is, because the only other person who does my job quit and tried to fight my direct boss. So that was fun. And then I found out 2 other people are about to quit the job because one has to move and one has a better job. So basically, it's now all or nothing. If I leave this job, it might possibly have to close the store. So I'm just gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna need some better pay here. Paycheck to paycheck is not fun.
For some weird reason, I'm so sorry. I had responded to you, but my microphone stopped responding to me.
Ah, that would explain the silence.
I had made a comment. And I noticed on Discord that it was not picking me up. So I just had to disconnect and reconnect because that is what kind of day we're having, apparently.
So please, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying to your comment about your homebrew, why am I getting the mental image of a guy in a trench coat saying, hey? Hey.
Because I'm a man who actually has an overcoat and would do that.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, let's put it this way. I have had too many people go, hey man, are you a Kevin Smith fan? I was like, I watch his movies, but are you calling me fat? But at least in this day and age, he's borderline like lost like 80 pounds and looks unhealthily skinny. So I'm just like, I'll take that. Yeah, no, I'd rather have that. Ugh. But now you're here, Saris. I will take a quick second to just step away and use my bio break. I will be right back.
Sure thing.
I'm going to do the same. Halftime show brought to you by Saris. Take it away.
All right, my stream now. Take over. How we doing, chat? All right, so we're still renovating the place, right? We have installed a new fridge. What is next on the agenda? I'm thinking some new decor. Maybe a new overlay. Oh, cookies. That sounds amazing, El Robot.
And Bob's not wrong. Bob is not wrong in chat either.
Correct.
But yeah, no, there's tons of great, like, Ross Lacier in general makes some of the best 5e homebrew. I think he's the one who's credited. I can't remember if it's Ross Lacier or... Yeah, no, it's Ross Lacier because Benjamin Huffman is his collaborating partner. But Ross Lacier's made the, like, literally best-selling pugilist, like, homebrew class, and Ben Huffman also works with him. Like, all of their 5e content is perfectly balanced, great to use, and it's easily available over on DM's Guild, and I will shield them since I'd spent most of my early career shilling them, actually. I forgot I did DM reviews. But yeah, luckily, the fandom has done enough to keep 5e going, and becoming what I have predicted for the last year, the new 3.5. Which I can already feel the vindictiveness of all the 3.5 players I've offended, like, rising up against me now.
I have obtained proper sustenance at this point. The food has been good. Although, slight disappointment, the chicken nuggets were dry.
You hate to see it.
I do! I really do. There's nothing quite like a overly crunchy chicken nugget, and I don't mean that in a good way.
I had Raisin Canes today because my parents were like, wait, so we haven't had Raisin Canes in like months. And I'm just like, I'm a driver. If there's one nearby, I will get it. So the novelty's not there for me, but if you're paying, I'll eat. But I literally had, like, in one of the boxes I got, literally it was just a, like, hockey puck of pure breading. No meat was actually in there. It just was in there with the fingers. And I was like, why would you put this in here? I don't even have a dog I can give this to.
That is so disappointing.
I mean, it was along with the actual 3 fingers, so I was not robbed. But it's just like, why is this here? But yeah, this has been oddly a week of social games for me. At least until Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday was a shopping day, and oh no, we got therapy, so now we have to actually have group therapy between 2 characters. You'll have fun with Saved by the Spell later when you catch it, Saris.
Hell yeah.
Though, luckily, our party leader has talked me out of, at least for 2 days, entreating gods and trying to barter with them. So, you thought I was joking when I messaged you the other day saying I might accidentally start the Trojan War in Saved by the Spell. Because gonna ask 3 goddesses for some stuff and see which ones answer. And if they all answer, oh no.
As long as one of them isn't Aphrodite, I think, or Hera, I think you'll be okay.
Well, I can actually say it because we said on stream. They were Ilias Trehi, the Raven Queen, and Lolth.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, the only sane answer is Ilias Trehi. But again, unfortunately, I literally am playing a noble drow, the last of his house, who is the son of someone who is destined to be a high priestess of Lolth but was betrayed. So I have a speed dial for her. And the best part is, trying to even pray to Lolth would be betraying my mother, which she would be on board for. Oh, I forgot about that. That's because we were doing that, like, behind the scenes, Bob. Also, he does not know what you can do as an artificer as opposed to not being a cleric. There might be plans to bless some security bots, and since only one person in our party's religious, he went to the artificer.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Sam.
Welcome back.
But yeah, no, this is... Oh, go ahead.
My most aloof cat was like, I want attention. I'm like, you fucking got it.
Heck
Good.
yeah.
Good. Also, Citric, how long have you been here?
I just got hit. Why?
Okay.
The Citric's been here for like 2 hours.
I mean, technically we all have been here for almost 2 hours. I just look over at the
Actually, was
OBS
never
tracking.
Actually, was never here. I'm a collective hallucination.
But, yeah, I want to say, Saris, I love playing Branson so much, because Branson takes up no room in the back of my head, like, during the, like, off weeks. I'm like, Branson will react to what happens, because he is not a thinker. Then I'm trapped with Daedalus in my head for 2 weeks. So, yeah. How is the traumatized, axe-wielding cleric my comfort character? Oh.
Just feels like home.
I mean, the closest thing is that I have a front door machete for home defense. That's because I literally worked at a Lowe's and found out that we sold machetes for $20, and at that point, why don't you own a machete? It's $20.
Listen, Danny Trejo makes them feel like they look really good, so why not?
He is a treasure.
That he is. I always loved the way he got into acting. It was just fresh out of prison, like walking by a parking lot, sees a bunch of tattooed dudes, and he's like, "Hey, I want to hang out," and just like grabs one by the arm or slap him on the arm, and the tattoo comes off, and he's like, "What is this shit?" And the dude just like walked into a shooting, and the director is like, "Well, are you an extra? No. Do you want to be? Okay." And that's how he started acting.
I didn't know that, but as a person who loves a lot of like easily accessible, like what was basic cable television, and just again one-off roles, I have been growing up on Danny Trejo because they'll be like, we need someone that's good and somebody who can speak Spanish, and they'll be like Danny Trejo, and I'll be like, he's in this too. He's like in one of the best Burn Notice episodes too, and that's like ingrained in my head.
As someone who has met him twice, he's every bit as nice as you'd hope.
Oh,
Heck
that's
yeah.
nice. Have you actually had any of his tacos that he sells?
Yeah, that's actually where I met him the first time. Trejo's Tacos.
Nice.
Angelina, local.
I love his Christmas pictures that he always takes because he always just takes a random shirtless picture with his two dogs on his couch every Christmas, and there's just slight differences. And I'm just like, yeah, this is now a Christmas tradition for me too. Is just a Danny Trejo shirtless on his couch.
Speaking of Danny Trejo, has anyone watched Two-Headed Shark Attack and its sequels that are titled Three-Headed Shark Attack, Four-Headed Shark Attack, and so on?
I've never even heard of these.
That
You
is
have
some of my favorite
attention.
Danny Trejo's work. Okay, I like watching really bad movies, especially if they have sharks in them. And Danny Trejo is a treasure in those movies, and I highly recommend them.
Well, now here's
They're terrible. They're very bad, but I still recommend them.
okay. Those sound fun to watch. Now I have to ask if you've been cursed because you say you like to watch specifically bad shark movies. Have you been cursed by Shark Exorcist?
I have watched Shark Exorcist, and it's not the worst one. House Shark beats that. I couldn't finish it.
You have a tier list?
I do. Of course I do. Yes. I think I've watched over 50 shark movies.
Uh,
Well, now I need to see the full tier list.
Yeah.
You got to make one.
I think I did at some point. I know I sent the Google Doc to Kaz at one point, so I will look for it. It does have classics such as ice sharks, avalanche sharks, land shark. And I'm pretty sure there's a sand one.
You'll also be happy to know that we actually just fought our first land shark in Pack Tactics like 4 weeks ago. There was just a spot on the map marked Shark Jungle, question mark, question mark, question mark, and we had to figure it out.
And for context, it was not a bullet. It was a little shark carrying around a like bottle of water.
It's also the only time I've ever succeeded on casting Hold Monster. Which is now becoming its own like small running gag, is that's the most powerful spell I know. It's only worked once and I've cast it like 7 times.
Also, you mentioned Shark Exorcist. Is that a different movie than Ghost Shark?
Yes.
Yeah.
The person
Okay.
who makes that's an infamous like filmmaker who he doesn't make porn, but his movies are full of fetishes, and it's very uncomfortable.
So there's this one movie that I have yet to see, which is called Bad CGI Gator. The whole point is that the creature is bad CGI.
That I know nothing about, but I would be interested in looking at it.
Bob, don't get me started on Velocipastor.
I actually really like that one.
Ooh.
It was awful.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, I'm about to try to get Saris and Citric to sit down and watch Murder Drones with me now it's completed its series. And I'm prepared for... I've already made jokes to Saris that I know which character they're immediately going to go, oh, I have to cosplay them. And I'm going to be mocking them for it. But with love.
We shall see. We shall see.
I'm just saying, I know what cosplays you typically lean towards. I follow. I don't always have time to like react on Insta, but I see things.
Dude, you're fine. I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware, but we shall see.
But yeah, it sounds like we're all back. Do we need anyone more time for people to eat and whatnot?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Okay, well then I'll switch on over, and we can
San,
head
are
to
you
the.
good?
Oh yeah.
No, I'm great.
Perfect. Ah, heck yeah.
All right, sounds like we're heading to a tavern.
Sounds like you are. It is first thing in the morning. So as you enter,
Perfect time to drink.
it is quiet. However, you do see that, the staff are sort of getting things ready. They are open, but it's giving the energy of like, we are open on a technicality. What you do see is you see an individual who, let me grab description. Appears to be sorry, I lost my page. There we go. You see, here we go. That one of the folks that you saw actually the night before is currently in the process of putting up some type of notice on the board. The gentleman being the more well-bit man, the laborer that you saw.
If I remember correctly, they were looking at us when we left our table, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Puts the notice up and then walks away from the board and sort of passes the lot of you, eyeing you before heading out completely.
Humphrey tips his hat.
Go ahead and roll me just a flat charisma roll, Humphrey.
Will do. Charisma. Here you are. That's an 8.
Just continues to walk and goes out.
Well, gentlemen, we are at the tavern.
Perhaps find around for us. I will look around for this message board.
Very well.
And
Humphrey will-
Rosvan will start the search.
Branson will literally point you at the message board because that's all he did last time.
Onyx also follows and goes to the message board.
So I assume.
First, sorry?
So I assume Humphrey's the one buying drinks.
Do you need gold?
No,
See,
not
this
at
is
all.
why you're everyone's favorite, Humphrey.
Well, no, I'll keep doing my Zorro energy of walks over, orders 3 beers, does not share.
What kind of beers are they?
Whatever they're serving.
Son, don't. Son, don't.
Watch that be the main beer of Skald.
I mean, I don't have any power here. But if I had to use my imagination.
I was about to say, like, just change the name to something like Crystal in German, but I bet you it's just Crystal. Anyway.
You notice as you head towards the bar that
Hmm?
the individual that you saw the night before currently is not there. In fact, the bar is not currently being manned. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. And while you're doing that, Razvan and Onyx, roll me an investigation check.
Flat
Razvan
20?
got a 14. I will load Onyx right now.
For me,
Onyx
I got 17 for perception.
Okay.
got a natural 1.
This feels like it makes sense because this is the first time Onyx has been in here, and Onyx, there are a lot, surprisingly, it's not a huge board, but there are surprisingly a good number of things that you notice on this board. A couple job postings, a wanted poster, um, as well as some news. Nothing really that catches your fancy. For my two perception checks, you both notice that the door to the kitchen is open, like propped open. There are people going in and out. You get the distinct feeling that it's not necessarily that you can't get a round of drinks, it's that wherever the bartender is, wherever the barkeep is, they are probably doing some type of preparation work, and they just haven't arrived at the bar front yet. So it may be a second.
Does the bar have beer
but
taps?
It does.
Branson will just reach over the bar, grab 3 mugs, just fill them up, put down the necessary gold there for that, and just sit there and begin drinking.
All right. Flip me a coin, or roll me a d6.
Okay.
Ooh, incredible. Uh, that is a really stout beer.
Mm.
Nice.
A stout, perhaps.
As a person who does not like stouts, I'm just rolling with the fact that, like most snakes, he does not have a
You
well-defined
don't-
sense of taste.
You don't like drinking bread?
Not particularly, no.
I love it when I drink doubles as a meal.
I actually like stout.
Yeah,
It
me
is.
too.
It is an acquired taste.
Yeah, it's just not for me. But yeah, no, I operate on the carnivore rules of most things that eat almost entirely protein have very dull taste buds. So he's just like, beer, yes, and just gulping it down.
Nothing happens because none of the workers are currently paying attention to you. So you get 3 beers and you start drinking one down.
I just love that Humphrey was going to the counter. He sees Branson pass through, like, by him, grab 3 beers. And he's like, he's just standing there with his finger up, like, I was going to buy.
He will gesture at the coins on the table, then realize that you're not big enough to see the coins on the table. So he will gesture towards a stool and be like, come on.
As for the investigation check, you do find what you believe to be the notice, and I'm going to copy paste this into your chat because you were the only one to notice it. Give me just a second. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
No worries.
You're welcome to roleplay amongst yourselves for like 2 seconds while I get this copied over because I have to do it sequentially.
Yeah, Humphrey will. Go ahead.
Humphrey, my understanding, you do tend to enjoy a bottle of wine yourself, do you not?
Yes, I am not. I'm strange to wine myself. The house I work for. We have rather ample. What's the name for the? We have a rather ample cellar with a nice variety of wines. I've had the privilege to taste quite of them myself, to assure quality, of course, and for a matter of mm, helping with pairings time to time. One of the perks of the job, I would imagine.
I see. You make mention, this has been a few times, of a particular house or lord that you work for. Are you a servant, perchance?
I work as a butler, yes.
That would explain why your mannerisms are so kind.
I try to be of as much assistance and disrupt as little as possible. Yes, just because I am away from home, that does not mean I am to relax on my manners.
I see. Hey, I have not known many servants in my life, but certainly not ones that have such a dedication to trying to return home. You make it sound as though you are also some form of bodyguard. Certainly, fight the skilled is one.
This is true. My job does not limit is not limited just to the upkeep of the house and the assistance of the family. The city of Sharn, the place I come from, is complicated. One is as likely to find themselves in the presence of like magic marvels as it is to get stabbed in the kidney for not paying attention. My lady requires quite a bit of assistance. She does count with her own bodyguard, however, she has a young daughter, and my current status is I am being trained to be her retainer as she grows older.
See? And it would seem as though that, well, where we currently are isn't much more or less dangerous than where you already came from.
Ironically, no, yes. It's... The tone, however, is different. Sharn may be a city of duplicitous people, of unseen knives, but there is a sense of respite, there is a sense of wonder, and I've not really been able to see any of the sort here.
Well, it is good to know that your lady's loss is our gain, at least for now. But if you could find a bottle of wine that would be agreeable to both of our palates, I tend to prefer a bitter red. Well, where am I now? I tend to prefer a bitter red myself.
There you go. Sorry it took so long.
You're fine.
But please continue.
Yeah. And since the bar is unattended, Humphrey will actually just walk behind the bar and and sort through the bottles.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah. You said the bar is unattended right now.
Yeah, currently no.
Then Humphrey will walk behind the counter and sort through the bottles and see what they have.
Quite a few different things. A lot of different types of wine. Some of the bottles, admittedly, are rather they're unlabeled. You would assume these are either liquors or some types of juices, or some types of even like potions or ingredients of some kind. Anything beyond that, like if you're looking for something specific, you would need to roll an investigation check.
You know what? I will.
I'm just waiting for the problem of, is this a good year? Wait, what year is it?
I mean, the problem is that one thing is the year, the other is that you have to know the vineyard, and like, just because there was a good year, it depends on the region. Then that's an 8.
What are you looking for?
Ideally, anything in the realm of Cabernet of a Carmenere.
Not quite.
Hmm.
There is that rosé that Razvan had the other night, last night.
Rosé every day.
Humphrey will look slightly disappointed, but since he tasted the rosé before, he has at least a realm of reference for that one. So he will shrug and take that one. And estimating by the amount it costed last night, he will leave the price of the full bottle.
Is it a bottle or a box?
It's a bottle. It is a bottle. It's not a
I'm
box.
joking. I figured it was a bottle.
Yeah, if it was a box, Humphrey would be like,
It doesn't. On the menu in front of you, it does not say how much for a full bottle. It tells you how much for a glass.
That's what I'm saying. That since he's just extrapolating from that.
Well, and especially considering the bottle itself is about half full, you would guess that it probably cost you like 2 silver pieces.
Half full. You're an optimist. Good to know.
Then yeah, Humphrey will put 2 silver on the counter and grab 2 glasses. This is funny because I assume all of the glasses are kept high, and Humphrey just stretches one gummy arm and, whoop, and grabs the 2 glasses.
You start drinking, and again, I put it in your private channel, but Razvan, there is the conversation that you witnessed.
I see that.
One thing though, as Humphrey is behind the counter, he will look over and say, "Mrs. Onyx, do you want something?"
If you wouldn't mind sharing some of that wine, I'll have a little bit.
3 glasses it is. And grabs another.
It's fucking it's 11 in the morning, but it's time to get crunked. it's not quite lunchtime, but
exactly
it's time
what
to
I
get
expect
crunk
from us.
again.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Listen,
we don't have mimosas. We may not have mimosas, but we are having brunch, baby.
Listen, as someone
Hell
who's
yeah, let's go.
as someone who's only gone to day drink a few times, when you plan out day drinking, you know what you're about.
I have never had a moderate amount of mimosas. It's always been way too much.
But yeah, the 4 of you are able to drink, and you do. After a few minutes go by, the a different person, not the person that you were expecting, enters from the kitchen. This individual, far more pale to the skin. I can't help but describe as there's something about them that just feels very plain. Their brown hair, the look in their very brown, like plain brown eyes. Something about the way that they hold their posture unremarkable. Their mouth slightly open. They just approach the bar and look look to the four of you and the look to the pile of money that has been put there and just say, "Is this for your drinks?"
Yes.
Okay. They
By all means, let
proceed.
us know if we have made any mistake on our payments.
They kind of look at you. Unblinking, they take the money off the counter, slide it, put it into their hand, and then lean down, picking up like the equivalent of like a coin purse, and they drop it in before putting the coin purse away. And they just kind of stand there, watching. They reach over, grab a cloth, you don't know where from, somewhere behind the bar, and they begin wiping down a spot on the bar.
Are you okay?
Hmm. Me?
Yes.
Quite. Proceeds to look back down at what they're doing and continuing to wipe the bar.
Humphrey, there's a term for this. They are here.
I mean, physically yes, but I never mind.
No, he is giving off the. I have given you the retail answer for how they are feeling. Interact as least as possible. Already on second beer.
He moves his glass of wine a little bit. So, anything interesting on the quest board?
You see Razvan like trying to commute the information. It would certainly seem that people air out their grievances with one another here, but nothing for me to go off of as of yet. Still, I will try to make contact as he's starting to try and write something on there.
Very well.
For the group of you, if you would like, there are four notes, four stanzas, which read, "Upon an evening night I hear a tune of melancholic fear, notes of longing, notes forlorn, the face of a home that is nevermore." The next note with the different handwriting replies, "A myth, a legend, you jest, of bardic lies I do detest. No such tune can be heard in these our mists, lest you're having psychotic fits." The next note from OP reads, "Aren't stories what we are left to tell? The tales and histories of lives that dwell in time and place you've been excluded, unless you yourself are found deluded." The next person, that second person, rewrites, "To watch someone put their own foot in their mouth, a feat quite unmatched. Choke, I pray, on your own feet. I won't beseech thee, my patience snatched."
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He is writing his reply. That information is conveyed to the party, whatever you may gather from it.
I posted what Branson is parsing from what's being heard.
Yeah, that's.
Humphrey only having Shard as his frame of reference when Metro. he just looks at hears about the exchange. So where is the part where one stabs another?
It's so the stanza ends every fourth line. So the first one ends notes of longing, notes forlorn, the face of a home that is nevermore. Is the end of the first one.
No,
Less.
the question
Oh,
was more of
sorry.
a literal. The question was more of a literal
Oh,
one. Is when do we get to the stabbings?
got it. Sorry. Sorry. My
Like,
hearing today is off, I guess, because that is not what I
when
heard you say.
when does the beef leave the vinyl? Basically.
Oh, I mean, this is certainly the equivalent of do you bite my thumb? Do you bite your thumb at me, sir? Yes, I do in fact bite my thumb at you, sir.
Citric just asking, so, when is someone going to stab him because he asked, what are you going to do, stab me?
I mean, you'd have to write and find out. Write and see if someone replies.
Literal fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The random owl right there in the sound effects.
Yeah, no, sorry.
No, you're fine. It just came in as the one sound in my new headset. I was like, oh yeah, okay. There's an owl in the bar. That's fine. My character's
Yeah,
not.
I mean, there could be a bird.
Hey,
A bird who
at-
hoots.
At least in this game, I'm not paranoid of owls.
Fair enough. But is there anything else that you? I know Razvan is writing, but is there anything else that the three of you would wish to do while Razvan writes his note?
Humphrey will actually is the well-built man that was like arranging the board before still around?
Nope, he left.
Hmm.
He walked out. He left a note though. He did leave a notice up on the board, but he walked out afterwards.
Seeing everyone busy, and I assume no new patrons have entered the establishment.
Right now it's just
Uh,
you guys and the barkeep. Yeah.
Humphrey will actually walk towards the board and try to see it,
Okay.
like the message.
The ones that Razvan found,
Nope.
or the the one that the guy posted. Sure enough.
Yep.
Sure
Yep.
enough. So you actually find it looks like a warning, actually. It's a note that says and I will also drop it in the call chat.
Mm-hmm.
Men in black found on the prowl. Keep to your own. Beware. Shit smells foul.
Humphrey then will walk back to the group and relay the warning. It seems someone, well, not someone. I believe he was a patron that was here last night. Left a warning on the board. Apparently, men wearing black have been prowling around. No real description of what might be going on, but they seem to describe as some sort of, at best, bad omen towards some sort of criminal organization. It would be my best guess.
It's probably the cult.
Ah, yes, the cult of no name that you talked about.
Well, men dressed in black, and nothing was the only thing that we could describe of the people with the coffin.
That is true.
That is Rosvan's reply.
Ooh, okay. I dig it. I dig it, I dig it. That is your reply.
I dig the pen name. Well, do we have any other businesses in here, or do you think we have concluded what we can extract from this place?
I see no
have,
reason to linger here.
aside from a drink, I have finished my task here.
Well, then I'm interested. Where do you think we should move next?
Well, I do not believe we have any further leads within Melancholy. I would imagine trying to stay out of trouble until tomorrow morning would be the best.
The only thing we were going to do is talk to the Nature's Guild and see if they wanted us to run messages for them.
Ah,
That is true.
right. And then, why don't you lead the way?
You'll just watch Branson take his third drink, just hold up his hand archer style, gulp, 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 gulp. Slam it down. Okay, let's go.
Cheers to that. And Rosvan will down his rosé.
Hopefully we'll finish it well.
It just oozes.
Again, like smoke
Onyx's
on the water.
glass is already empty.
Oh, good. Excellent. A fast drinker.
To be fair,
All right.
if you're comfortable gulping, a standard like glass of wine is not that hard.
No, yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
If this were if we were doing a second round, I'd start making you have to do con saves with how quickly y'all are chugging this down, but all right. So, to the Nature's Guild?
Mm-hmm.
To the Nature's Guild.
To the Nature's Guild. So, I mentioned this before, but the building itself seems to be made differently than the buildings around it.
Built
And as
different.
it is built different. And on the front of the door, as I mentioned, or did I mention? I don't remember if I mentioned this, but if not, you find that there is an engraving on the door. But instead of it being the one that you saw before, it is a tree covered with ivy. Like, it's a beautiful etching that has been burnt into the wood of the door. You notice something very particular, first and foremost. The first thing that you notice is that the door has no handle. You also notice, and I know those of you in the chat are going to be terrible about this, but it does say on the door frame the words "Speak friend" and enter.
Humphrey looks at the group. Big friend?
Branson just shrugs.
Rosvan will do the same.
How do you speak the word friend?
Humphrey said it actually as a question to the rest of the group.
Mhm.
But he did say it out loud. Like, speak
Okay.
friend?
And Zan, how did you say the word friend?
Uh, you would have just said it aloud.
Just
Uh,
normally?
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen.
Not often that I found a building that requires a riddle to get in. Then again, it has a very particular make. Its architecture is. It does stand out from the rest. Should we try knocking?
With the try.
Well, actually, just watch Branson hold out his hand, and a small electric charge as do. Thaumaturgy. I cause any unlocked door to open.
That sure is one way to do it.
Hi, cast breaking and entering.
Listen, I have 2 characters that could do this, and they both have very broad moral stances.
I cast battering ram.
I want to check something first before I just give this to you because I'm not entirely certain.
I saw it
I
says
cast siege without a warrant.
It's near the very bottom. You instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut. Yeah. Okay.
Right. But there's something. Aha! That's what I thought. It does not open.
It can't be forced by magic. I've heard that it's
Then
locked.
Rosvan
Then
will knock on it, the door. Specifically, it's the Terminator knock.
Ah, okay.
Duh, 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 duh.
Da-da.
There is. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing. There is like a subtle greenish, like dim light that proceeds to make like the smallest of squares in the door, and it like a panel lowers, revealing a masked face on the other side. Can I help you?
Hey, perhaps not. Perhaps we can help you. I believe is the reason we're here, right?
Yes. We were told to come here and make our acquaintance with the guild by a man named Baru. We met along the road, and he was certainly a faithful ally to find.
The door, like the little panel on the door, raises once again. There's a moment of silence. The door opens, and you see now, in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
a 5'1" humanoid.
I pick him up and throw him.
You can try.
I'm kidding. You go ahead.
Cloaked in what I can only describe to be very natural garments. For one, their like cloak, if you want to call it that, their capelet seems to be made of some type of fur. I'll go ahead and give this to you, Branson. That's like hair or rabbit's fur. Their like armor vest appears to be hide. Same with their bracers. Otherwise, very dark tinted, very like blacks and dark browns in their clothing. And their face is covered by, I mentioned before, it's a mask. It covers their nose and their mouth. But it appears to be made predominantly of like again some type of like a starchy cotton that has been dyed like hand, you can tell it's been hand dyed black with this very subtle white embroidered leaves along the top trim. Their eyes, a very piercing, very very like almost beady black. You almost can't see the pupils. Not like full on scleras, but the irises are like black.
Mm.
And they have like their hood, a hood is up, but you see little bits of what appear to be really shaggy black hair dripping down in front of their face. If you're friends of Barhu, come on inside. Please, be quick.
Walk inside.
Humphrey nods and enters.
As you enter, the um okay, good to know. Um as you enter, the space itself, it very much gives the energy of like a I will leave this up to you as players to determine whether or not you would have seen the inside of a guild hall. Um, but very standard. There is very similarly like a quest board, if you will. There is a number of different rooms outside of the space. There is the equivalent of like a it's not really a front desk, so to speak, but there is like a fire pit actually, that's currently unlit with a bunch of like mats around it. um you you notice that this individual has seated themselves amongst one of the mats on the fire pit, and they kind of make a really quick and very like sharp hand wave gesture for the for the lot of you to join them. Most of the other rooms that are connected to the central area, all as expansive as it is, seems to be shut. They're wooden doors with, once again, no handles or knobs. I just want to kindly point out that we're having a tense moment and y'all are in the group chat
Listen,
trying so hard to keep face right now.
I am so glad I gave
Apologies.
everyone the power to make like emotes and stickers. So, but yeah, no, I will say that Branson is kind of stepping back and letting the talking people talk while maybe moseying towards that like job board.
Humphrey for this part is taking most of this in. He's not like he's heard about adventurers guilds, but he's not used to them.
Well, you wanted to come in. You said that you wanted to assist us. How do we need assistance? Someone speak quickly.
Sorry, we are making our way to Skald tomorrow. Uh, since Baru offered us assistance, we wanted to repay the favor, and if you have any kind of correspondence or delivery you need to be made to the city, we would like to provide assistance with that.
You see them sort of squint. Is that all?
Well, I can also give you a warning that would probably be added to that correspondence to all of your guilds.
Explain.
Branson will go over, and I will actually act it out this time. I have been led to believe that this man is within your lands now. And I went to the wrong tab, so give me a second. You may want to write this down because I was not able to get a portrait made. If you see a lithe, gaunt, sharp... if you see a man that is lithe and gaunt with sharp regal features and hair nearly as black as night itself, eyes as blue as cold ice, and the crescent-shaped scar that started above and ended below his left eye, that man brings death. Death big enough that it might even claim Skald. Let anyone know. Oh, go ahead.
Of that I am suspicious. Of that I doubt. I do not take your warning as nothing, though, so keep in mind I'm not dismissing you. However, I find it hard to believe that there is an entity other than the one who owns these lands to be able to be stopped by a man as you have described.
I don't think he
There
will.
is an
I don't think he
But-
will stop. I don't think he will stop anything here. This man is like a plague. He does not care. He walks through. He destroys. And again, I will lean on my actual background to show them this is a warning for literally anyone you can tell. If you see this...
I'm going to.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm going to have you before you say your next line. I'm going to have you roll intimidation with advantage.
Okay, thank you, because that's a flat roll. 17.
With a 0 modifier.
Yep.
Okay. Say the rest of your piece.
I understand you're a nature guild. I am a man who survived a calamity akin to an earthquake, akin to a storm. Something uncaring, unfeeling, that will destroy. That is this man.
I repeat, I do not ignore your call. We will make warning. We will make sure that those who need to be alerted are alerted. But I will have you know that he is not the only force that is like this in these lands. And if he is one to disrupt the nature of these lands, then he will likely find consequence before he even becomes a problem.
As long as you send the warnings, I don't care. That said, if there's anything you need us to take to Skald, we will take it. I will also look at this board. It seems there's things that could be done to help this place.
Perhaps. However, I find myself wary of the four of you. Forgive me, it is not often that we have outsiders. It is not often that we have those who can cross the mists come into these lands. And for you to simply say that you are here only to travel to Skald and for no other reason, I find very, very suspicious.
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Just Branson?
Anyone.
We do.
16?
23. And for Onyx,
17 on my end.
5 for Onyx.
So everyone but Onyx, I'm so sorry. They're I'm gonna start with this and then I'm gonna go in with Razvan. You all gather the fact that obviously there is much hidden. The wariness of you all clearly comes from a place of experience. This individual seems to be very worldly and very wise. This is someone who seems to be very like there's a moment even when they're talking where you notice that they seem to like look over their shoulder as if someone was watching or listening in. Little things, little bits in their behavior that just indicate that they are not just suspicious of you specifically, but in general, that they are wary. Razvan, you very clearly pick up on the bit about outsiders and outsiders having additional motives, and you find it interesting that that is what this person is looking for. That is like yes, they said it bluntly, but you can tell that they are going to continue to push until they are satisfied with an answer that you provide, whether it's honest or not.
Well, it would appear that us being outsiders might have an advantage that you're looking for.
What do you mean?
Well, everyone we have encountered thus far has been curious about each other's loyalties, where any traveler might be, who they might be working for. You do not have to worry for that, as we don't even know what factions there are, let alone who might. We are not in anyone's pocket, as we have not been here for very long.
Well, this is true. I still do not understand what it is that you come to our lands, what it is you seek, and what it is that you are looking for in Skald.
In
We
Skald?
are look. Go ahead.
You.
Fine. We are looking for direction. We don't know the reason why we're here. I am being blunt about this because, again, we owe a debt to Baru. He helped us navigate our way through the forest. You may not believe us. You may have no reason to do so, but we want to help.
It's not that I don't believe that you want to help. It's not that I don't believe that you know Barhu. The simple fact that you know his name means that you're being honest. I have no reason to doubt that. I have every reason to doubt your intention of going to Skald because of what is there.
What is there?
The one who owns these lands.
May I ask for a name?
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh boy!
Does he gain advantage if he shows the cake?
Not
For
the cake.
intimidation.
Not the cake.
Oh, you gotta show the whole bakery. Sorry.
Yeah,
That's an 8.
an 8.
I'm going to be generous. It's not often that I do this, but I'm going to be generous. The man of which you seek, though I will warn you, if you say the name out loud, it's not that it is taboo. But, well, no. No, I won't be that generous. You will find out on your own. However, the name is Harkin Lucas.
Humphrey nods and makes a short bow. I appreciate you sharing this knowledge.
Use it wisely.
Or not at all.
It most likely won't come up. We are literally going there because it's just the largest place with people.
You don't know that. These lands have a very curious way of taking the people that it wants to take and putting them in situations. I have watched a number of parties like yourself traverse these mists, traverse these swamps, and meet a doom most foul.
That is fine. I expected this. The man I warned you of, I have sworn to kill. I am the man chasing the disaster.
Apologies if our visit has done nothing but alarm you. It was not our intention.
No, but I would rather know than not. This explains several things. It provides more answers than it does questions.
Besides that, go ahead.
If I might ask, as we are still rather new here, this Harkin Lucas, is there any information you can give us on him?
He is the ruler of these lands. Though it is hard to say what is true and what is myth. It is hard to determine what stories told of him are an actual. But I will tell you this. When you meet him, he will not be what you expect. You will not know unless his name is given. And you may not believe it. But I tell you this. If he introduces himself to you, believe it. Even if you do not choose to outwardly show it, or if you choose to act on it in the moment, that is a decision that you must make. But know that when he introduces himself, do not believe it to be false, as those around you may doubt, based on whatever stories, whatever myths, whatever rumors they may have heard. There are words spoken everywhere, eyes and ears to the ground and to the air, as I'm sure you know. But not everyone is honest. Those who are may surprise you.
That is good information to have. Thank you.
Once again, we appreciate the fact that you are sharing this with us. You owe us nothing, and yet, once again, your guild is helping us.
But for a price. You asked if you could help us with something. Perhaps you can. A relic of ours has gone missing.
A relic.
Yes. It was taken. To where I do not know, but we have lost sight of it. If you are able to find it or anyone who knows of its location or its state of being, if it is even still in Cardicus, we would much appreciate that knowledge.
We shall endeavor to do this. You have any description of this relic?
I do. It's a pendant, weirdly shaped. Almost looks like it could be the sun. And it has a gem encrusted on the inside.
You can all hear the sound of Branson's leather glove clenching in his pocket as he is standing incredibly, bolt upright.
Humphrey's just trying to keep a straight face, a straight like ooze. I don't know.
Deception check, both of you.
I would say he would auto fail because he's not actually trying. At this point now, he is just actively mad because he was just told that this thing would be useful to him specifically.
That's an 11 on deception.
Okay. Squinting. What do you know?
You're gonna watch as he just starts letting out deep breaths. Just he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the holy symbol.
You watch this person's eyes go very wide. Where did you get this?
A church in a town that had been killed. Everybody piled in a heap. We killed the one that did this.
Oh dear. New mission then. If you choose to take it, that is fine. If you choose to leave it with me, that is fine. If you could find somebody to mend that, that would be wonderful.
That was another reason we were going to Skald.
You watch as this person's posture like relaxes just a hair. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, Citrin.
No. You're perfectly fine.
I showed it to Barhu. He told me that it is very good at dealing with undead. Which...
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. That is one of its biggest purposes.
I know it's losing its magic. I reached out to the being that helps me. It did something to help it. I don't know what.
May I see it?
He'll get another very deep breath and then just hold it at arm's length by the actual, like, band of it.
I am going to do a fun little check here that I've never actually done in 5e. Yeehaw.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. Okay. So, the person looks over it. You're right, it has been changed. But not for negative. Whatever it is that your guardian has done has been very good. But I do not understand this magic. I do not know what is happening. I trust it then to you. Hands it back to you, Branson. Then, if you are able to find a way to repair this, I will pay you handsomely. But it will not be with gold or with silver.
Anything to help me slay the man I described to you, I will take. Including this, if that is all.
For reasons that I am not permitted to share, I cannot let you keep that item. But if it helps you on your journey until such time as you can bring it back to any of us. But not just the Nature Guild. No. You specifically need to... There is a very specific organization that I am a part of. And you must find... We do dwell in nature guilds, yes, but not everyone in a nature guild is one of us. You need to find... Hold on. Give me a second.
I'm double checking my notes. Shit. Yes, okay. You need to find if you cannot make it back to Melancholy yourself, you need to find anyone who is a member of the Keepers of the Feather and bring that back. Even if you do so use it, that is not an issue. We just have to have it back. There are bigger and worse things. I promise there are bigger and worse things, and that item is needed in order to accomplish those issues.
You say the Order of the Feather?
The Keepers of the Feather.
Keepers got it.
Very well.
Given that we find ourselves sharing common ground, I presume we can be less guarded with one another for the rest of this conversation.
To some extent. I find myself less guarded with you, but more guarded in general. Because
It is a
whatever
heavy subject.
and whatever broke that points to the object. We do not know what it is capable of. If it is capable of such things as scrying, then how do we know that this conversation has not already been overheard?
At which point, hearing that, burn the slot for it, detect magic. Are there any sources of scrying in the room?
Not scrying. Of course, there is the magic still left on the item, and of course on all of your person. But you do notice, on the actual person that you're speaking to, you see traces of enchantment and conjuration magic on them, and in the room in general, you see abjuration magic. But no signs of divination.
Branson will literally just scent the air of his tongue, then turn to them. We are not being scryed on now.
That's a relief, at least.
With that out of the way, Humphrey will take a step forward and stretch out his his arm. Shall we start again? My name is Humphrey. What will be your name?
Shallow. Shallow Mim.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine, if there is to be had one.
I gather this might not be the last time we speak with each other.
I would hope not. There's a moment. Sorry.
Go ahead.
There's a moment where their eyes grow really wide and for a moment beadier than normal. They seem to like flit around for a moment, kind of in the way that like a bird would. Like you would expect that to be the head movement, but instead of it being the head, it's their eyes.
Mm-hmm. At the very least, it's good to know that we count with some allies in all of this. I was perfectly honest when I was saying we are looking for what is our objective here. We were brought here, we believe, for a reason.
I take it you wish to go home.
I do. So far as that objective is not met, I am unable to.
There's a deep and profound sigh that comes from this person, but they do not say anything more. At least not to that comment.
If anything else, it's good to know that at least we count with some sort of allies in all of this.
Perhaps. Perhaps. Is there anything else at this time that you need from me?
Humphrey looks at the group.
I gained more than I thought I would come getting here.
Indeed. I believe we have a lot to digest. Thank you, Master Min.
And for the record, the word is amigue.
Noted. We'll make sure to give that good use in the future.
At the very least, don't break down people's doors. Use that instead.
Looks at Branson.
It wouldn't have broken the door, it would have just opened it.
You did broke the one on the inn.
And you used a cantrip on a second level spell. I apologize, but it would not work.
Now, go back to the beginning of the episode. Blank stare. One eye blinks, the other blinks.
I understand.
Yes. Thank you. And Branson will just start heading out. But also making sure to hide the pendant in a more secure place in his armor rather than in his pocket.
Okay. And I think, if you all don't mind, with the four of you, unless there's anything else you wish to do at the Nature's Guild, unless there's any other questions that you have for Shallow, I think this is where we're going to wrap up the session.
Sounds good to
real,
me.
Real quick, when
Yep.
Branson looks into his cloak, he finds a bottle of Cerveza Cristal. There it is. Third time. We're for sure going to get it.
Why?
Branson's like,
I know
huh.
we can go.
No, Branson actually holds it up. Huh. Bites the cap off, starts drinking.
Looks towards the camera.
The individual that you spoke to and Humphrey both stare into the camera like they're in the office.
I had to get the third time in there so we can get the sponsorship.
It's not fucking Beetlejuice. It doesn't work like that.
The Beetlejuice quota.
Yeah, but let's start going around the horn. I know for technical reasons, how about we give Sheila a chance to go first?
Fair enough.
If she is able. I know she mentioned that she was losing battery, so Sheila, let us know
Yes.
if you can. If not, we'll shill on your behalf.
Yes.
Okay, I did charge my AirPods for a bit, so hopefully.
Hey!
Oh, okay,
Hey!
you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's excellent. This is Sheila. I'm on Instagram only as Mugimira, MUGIMIRA.cause. And here 2 Sundays a month, I'll pass it on to Citric.
Hi, hello, I'm Cedric. You can find me pretty much anywhere at Citric King. That anywhere being Blue Sky, Twitter, not Instagram, Tumblr, etc., etc. Things are a bit quiet on my front as far as like art and commissions, but again, hopefully opening some slots soon. Other than that, I will be here this coming Tuesday playing as Midas on our All Warlock campaign, Pack Tactics, which has been a lot of like weird fun with fish people that can alter reality, because that's D&D. Anyway, that is me. So, San, why don't you take a turn?
Hey, it's me, Zan, also known as Xanos Grim, from Those Who Wander, episodes 1 through 12. I had to get that in again. You can find me tomorrow and Tuesday, potentially, one or the other, if not both. Looks like we're going to be doing some more Halo Lasso, Halo 5 Lasso, if you want to hear me scream at Edward Bosco loudly for dying for the 17th time in a row. There's that. I think that'll be around 5 p.m. PST over at twitch.tv/analystgrim if you want to see that. Aside from that, on Thursday over at twitch.tv/Monty Glue's channel at 7 p.m. PST, we're continuing our deep run into Dungeon of the Mad Mage, where I play an incredibly sad human fighter. We're pretty high level. We're level 15 now. We're a good chunk through the book, so I mean, we're not close to the end, but we're getting there. So it's a good time to come in. And aside from that, not this Monday, but next Monday, Stalwart Souls will be returning to my channel at 7 p.m. PST over on my channel. So if you like some more D&D content, you like some of the friends of the channel, that'll be there. And aside from that, I will send it over to Saris.
Hi, hello. Stealing that from Citric. You can find me all over the internet. You can find me all over the internet at Tixtixel, where I'm taking a break. I have other things that I need to do, and I need to rest because I haven't taken a proper break for an entire year, actually. So we're doing that, and we're enjoying it. But you will find me in 2 weeks' time here again. And then hopefully sooner than later, in September, you'll see me here again for No Love War Extra, where I will have to at some point get the rundown of all of the things that have been happening. But in the meantime, I will pass this along to the Talking Skull. Vaughn.
Yeah, hi. Between Saris and Citric, everything I'm going to be doing the next week has been shilled. The only other thing is around Monday the 9th, we will be returning back with Wizard Sibs Plays, where I and Zymocyte play on their channel at twitch.tv/Zymocyte, are going to continue playing Wizard Sibs Plays, where, as our D&D characters, we go through a Resident Evil game, and we're up to 6, so we're going to be spending a lot of time not having a good time, but that should be fun. But with that said, we're going to raid somebody who I've never gotten to raid because we have 2 wildly different schedules, but they're a friend from another server. We're going to raid one Tiki the Troll.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, Tiki's good people.
Tiki's good people.
What's your raid
message?
Yeah.
I have one.
No, I know what you mean. No. Took me a second.
No.
A second.
I actually got one. Thanks to GTG Maximo. The whole bakery ?
Let's go. That was legitimately actually gonna be mine. I just wanted to fucking make Citrix one for a second.
All right. So the message is the whole bakery. Thank you all for coming out. We'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.